Hello, boys and girls. Professor Jonesy here again. Well, thought I'd give you another clue in the rundown trying to figure out when my grandpappy was born. Watched Chad's video today. A couple of them. On his giveaway. I thought I had that location nailed down, but no, then he gave another clue and that wouldn't work. Anyway, get out my magic book, big book of clues here. Oh, I write them down. Now, Chad, you said you thought you might have had his birth date narrowed down to about 3 or 4 years. This might change your mind. We'll see. We'll see. Maybe you do. All right. I'm going to tell you a short little story about my granddad. In 1906, he and his brother Ed were running a photography studio in Missouri. I want to say Kansas City, Missouri, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure what city he was in at that time. Anyway, his brother Ed took sick and died. And I remember when I was a kid, members of the family asking him, well, how did your brother die? Oh, he died of rotting of the foot, gangrene. Oh, what caused that? Well, he was chopping wood and the axe slipped and chopped his foot and it never healed up. He didn't go to the doctor. And anyway, he eventually died of gangrene. But that was the accepted story for a long time. Later on, my oldest brother happened to find out from another branch of the family, one that was at that time still alive, and remembered my grandfather coming up there, said that one of his oldest brothers was already out in Idaho in 1906. And that my grandfather G.W. and his brother Ed were running the photography studio in Missouri. But my grandfather was quite a rounder, ladies' man. Stupid fly here, sorry about that. And he liked the ladies, whether they were married or not. And I guess one day at this photography studio, he and Ed were paid a visit by a certain lady's kin. I think her husband and her brother. Because they had figured out that Granddad had been fiddling around. And they came gunning for him. Well, there was a fight that ensued, and my grandfather reached for a pistol that they kept in a desk, and there was at least one shot exchanged, maybe more. probably several. And my grandfather's brother, my great uncle, had tried to break up the ruckus. He got in between them. And he was one of the ones that got shot in the foot. And that's what led to the gangrene. Anyway, either the guy's husband or the woman's husband or her brother got shot too, I'm sure. And Granddad knew the guy had more kin in the area. So he thought it was prudent that he go someplace else. And since he already had a brother up in Idaho, he hopped on a train and I'm coming up. That's the more plausible story we know now. Still not sure 100%, but I think that's probably pretty close, knowing my grandfather. But anyway, he and his brother in 1906 were young men. Now, I'll tell you something about when he was born. Won't give you too much. They were young men under 35. I won't say how much under 35, make it too easy. Anyway, I hope I haven't confused you anymore. But my grandfather, he came on up here to Idaho, and came on up to Idaho. I'm not in Idaho, I'm in Washington State. And stayed with his brother for a while, and then migrated across the state to Lewiston, Idaho, and then down into Walla Walla, Washington, which was a going town at that time. And that's pretty much where he lived for the rest of his life. Walla Walla, Washington. Yes, there is a Walla Walla, Washington. I know you hear it on the old Bugs Bunny movies, the Wicky Wacky Washing Machine Company of Walla Walla, Washington. But it truly is a town called Walla Walla. Fairly good sized town too. A little less than 100,000 now, I think. That's where my wife and I got married. Anyway, that'll put you into the frame of the era my grandfather was born in. Just, come up with some guesses, put them in the comments. And let's see what you come up with. And Chad, thank you for the mention, Yardism. Thank you for the mention of my channel. I appreciate that. Well, guess that's all about all I had to say. Oh, I didn't do the housekeeping. This is my green color Duke, Dr. Graybo. I've got the red, the blue, and the green. I need the white, the orange, and is it pink? No, yellow. Yellow. I'll come across them eventually. I'll have the set. Well, have you figured it out? Figured out what year he was born? All right. I guess I'll let you go. Don't want to take up too much of your precious time. This is the Altopian, and I'll see you down the road.